Most people start swimming because they love the water. Dan Plantamura started swimming because it was doctor's orders. He was just 5 years old.
I had heart surgery when I was a kid, and my doctor said I needed to do something after that to strengthen my heart. The doc said you can either run or swim, low impact sports. And we somehow ended up on swimming. 6 months after the procedure is when I was allowed in the water. I had to wait for the stitches to heal and everything.
Swimming is one of the most beneficial things you can do for your heart. Regular swimming strengthens your heart, which helps the body use oxygen more efficiently and improve blood flow. Plus, swimming works every muscle in your body and has a ton of brain benefits, from increased focus to better sleep. Dan's doctor was right on the money with his recommendation, and Dan stuck with the sport far beyond his early childhood. From swim lessons to a local club team to his high school swim team, Dan thought he would swim for the rest of his life. And in some ways, he has. But it's not the way you think.
I was gonna swim in college, but then decided to just build swim businesses in college instead of actually swimming in college.
Dan took an unorthodox path to stay connected to the sport of swimming. He and his brother Michael used their connections and entrepreneurial skills to launch successful swimming businesses instead of swimming laps themselves.
Michael had the Twitter handle Swimmin101 back in the day, got everything going for us, and we've just kind of never stopped since. So.
You can thank Dan and his brother for feeding your swimming meme addiction back in the day. They also managed the popular @swimming Instagram page, which they used to launch the Swimfluence subscription box. They collaborated with brands like Arena and partnered with gold medalists Missy Franklin and Ryan Lochte to bring curated swimming gear and signed memorabilia to subscribers every month. As a lifelong swimmer, getting to work with some of the biggest names in swimming was like a dream come true for Dan.
Being able to actually build relationships with the people that you used to watch on TV back when you were a kid. They're real people in your phone that you just call or text. When you have an idea and want to run something by them, see if you can turn that into something viable.
He may have been out of the pool, but swimming was still very much a part of his life. And in 2020, Dan joined the MySwimPro team to lead the company's brand partnership program.
MySwimPro has a massive community of swimmers, and we have the ability to help those swimmers to find products or services that could benefit them. So that's what I do. I find the clients, I help them get their products and services into the community, and we go from there.
Dan thought he'd continue his status quo. He'd dive deeper into the world of swimming without ever swimming a lap himself. Well, he was in for a rude awakening. The MySwimPro team is really good at getting retired swimmers back in the pool, and Dan was no exception.
Full disclosure, I haven't actually swam in like 6 months.
Like many swimmers, Dan was shocked at how difficult it was to get back into swimming after so many years of inconsistent training.
You know, the first 25 or the first 50, whatever, when you jump back in, your mind is saying like, hey, this actually isn't so bad. And then you get going past that duration and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm way out of shape.
Woo! It's over.
He could tell that his body knew what to do, but he felt off.
Those first couple laps, you just feel like a baby taking steps for the first time. Your body's doing like what it knows just from muscle memory, but then the feel isn't there.
But Dan knows how to fast track his performance and find his feel of the water again. Drills, drills, and more drills.
I always do zipper drill, I always do fingertip drag, and I always do flick drill. Because I figure if I'm reaching really far, if I'm pulling all the way through, and if I've got good elbow position, that's a good start to kind of get back into the rhythm of things.
From day one, rebuilding technique is the most important thing. After your form is locked down, then you can focus on endurance and dialing in your training. But even during those tough workouts, when he was getting back in shape, Dan was quickly reminded of how incredible swimming is for his mental health.
I just like, I don't know, just being relaxed and not thinking about anything else. Swimming's pretty all-encompassing, so at least for me, my mind actually goes blank when I'm swimming. And I know a lot of people can't necessarily ever turn their minds off, but they should really try swimming because that really helps for me.
Of course, that's not the only reason he likes swimming. Dan is a big data nerd and loves comparing his performance to previous competitions, and he's been shocked at the results.
I like comparing, like every once in a while I'll jump in and I'll swim a Masters meet, and I like seeing where I'm at relative to where I was. And honestly, for a lot of people, I think that they can even still improve throughout their late 20s and 30s. And that's been cool for my brother and I, is we're almost faster in the present day than we were back then.
Ultimately, Dan says being successful in the pool comes down to consistency.
I would just find accountability, whether it's a friend who swims, it's the MySwimPro Facebook group, or just some sort of form of accountability with other people who are swimming to hold you to it, just like anything else.
There's always something that will get in the way, but if you commit to your plan and show up for yourself, you'll see results.
If you find an ability to build the routine that you can actually commit to, that's how you're gonna stick with it.
If you're ready to get back in the pool, check out the MySwimPro app for personalized workouts, training plans, and analytics designed just for you. And if you wanna meet more of the MySwimPro team and hear their inspiring stories, check out our video on how Gisela dropped over 30 seconds in her 100 freestyle.